Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So let's start with another bishop opening video, and this opening name is bishop opening Yusuf Gambit. Okay, previously I have taught you what is Paulson defense, and here from now on this series will continue for Yusuf Gambit. Okay, it all comes under bishop opening. So the opening goes e4, e5, bishop to c4. That's why we call it bishop opening. Then black plays knight to f6, white plays d4. Okay, this is Ursuf Gambit. Okay, d4. Now the game continues. Knight into e4, d into e4. Okay. Now you can see that queen to d5. Okay, it is a direct threat because it will having a threat for the mate. Also, it will have a threat for the capturing the knight on e4. Okay, there are many lines. Okay, the bishop can come. Black can play bishop to c5 also. Okay, that is also a good line. It will also have a disadvantage. Also, queen can come on h4. Okay, that is also having some disadvantage. In this game, black has chosen to play knight to c4. Okay, c5, knight to c5 in this game. Okay, I will show you all the lines. First of all, what if bishop comes here? Okay, bishop to c5. Then how you should play is bishop into f7 check. Okay, then king into f7, and you can see that black castling is broken. Okay, then you can continue queen to d5 check, king f8, queen into e4. Okay, this is completely winning for white because you have broken the castling side for the black. Also, you are having one pawn up. Okay, so it's a completely win for the white. Here, for example, if the black does not capture the bishop, rather if it plays like king to f8, then you should play queen to f3. Okay, queen to f3 because you are threatening to capture the knight. Okay, here you can, like this you can continue. Also, what if bishop does not come here? Okay, for example, if queen to h4 is played, okay, queen to h4 is played, then how you will continue? Queen to f3. Okay, you are stopping this mate threat idea. Okay, also you are giving a threat, okay, to capture the pawn. Okay, and you see the knight cannot go back. Okay, like this, knight cannot go back, but knight can jump on g5. Okay, if it goes on g5, you can also capture the knight, then black will capture your bishop. Okay, then it will be a equalish, or you can say slight advantage for the white as well, because you will develop your knight. Okay, you will develop your knight like this, then you will do long castle. Okay, what I suggest, you can play queen to f4. Okay, queen to f4. Okay, giving both the threat. Okay, giving a threat to capture the knight. Here black is forced to capture your queen, then you will capture bishop into f4. Okay, now knight to e6, bishop g3. Okay, this is also clear advantage for the white because your both the bishops are developed. Okay, then you will do a long castle. Okay, then your rook will come to play, the knights are jumping. Okay, you are having a strong center pawn. Okay, that's also a clear advantage for the white. In game, I have shown you both the lines, and in real game it was played knight to c5. Okay, then you have to develop. Okay, that now if you go here, okay, in order to give mate, what will happen? Knight will jump here. Okay, so that's not a major issue. Okay, rather you should focus on developing your pieces. Knight to f3. Okay, knight to f3, then bishop comes on e7 like this. What if black chooses to play here d6? Okay, what if black chooses to play here d6? Then you see here are some tricks. Okay, then you will develop your bishop. If bishop d into e5, bishop into f7 check. Okay, you see king has to protect the queen, or else the queen will be lost. Then king to e7, then again bishop g5 check. Now king is forced to capture the bishop, then we'll get the queen, and it's a completely winning for the white. Okay, this is one of the line. So black, rather than pushing the pawn here, okay, black has chosen to develop the bishop, bishop to e7. Then game continues, bishop to f4, all are developing, okay, knight to c6, knight to c6. Here I would like to show you one variation. Okay, rather than knight to c6, what if black plays d6? Okay, what if black plays d6? Then how you should continue? Then if black plays d6, then you have to mark a weakness. Okay, you have to mark a weakness for the black. How you will create a weakness? E into d6, bishop into d6, bishop into d6, c into d6, then knight c3. Okay, which square is the weakness now? d6 pawn. Okay, d6 pawn is the weakness. Then after you develop your queen, do a long castle, then you have to target this weakness, weak pawn. Okay, this is also completely advantage for the white itself. Okay, also rather than knight c6, okay, if here black chooses to play castle, okay, black chooses to play castle, then I am showing you one variation. The more numbers of game you will be watching, then the more idea you will be having. Okay, just for an sake of an idea and the knowledge, you just see how you should continue. Okay, how you should develop your pieces, how you should coordinate your pieces, okay, in order to give a mate. This is also very interesting, you just check it out. Then first of all you have to complete the development. Knight to c3, knight to c6, queen to e2, a6. Okay, stopping this idea. Okay, stopping both the ideas. Okay, then long castle. Okay, why long castle? Because it is, if so that this pawn cannot be pushed. Okay, if it is pushed, then many attacks will be put on the d6 square. Okay, long castle. Also the after castling, the rook is coming into play. Okay, that's the main idea. Then the game can b5. Okay, here you see that b5. Okay, black is trying to create some counterplay on the queen side. Okay, so by pushing the pawns, he is planning to create some counterplay. Then you play queen to d5, bishop to d5. Okay, you are threatening to capture the knight. Pawn cannot capture because it is pinned. Okay, so bishop to d7, bishop to b7, knight to e4. Okay, knight to e4. Then this knight is a strong knight. Okay, if it captures, then my queen will be on the center square and attacking this knight and bishop. Okay, so it's better for black not to exchange. Knight to e6. Then you will continue. Knight to e6, you are threatening the bishop, so bishop has came to g3. Okay, safe square. Queen to c8. Okay, supporting the bishop. Okay, if the knight moves somewhere, so that this bishop being should be protected. Okay, that's why. Then h4. Okay, h4, planning to play the knight f on g5. Okay, this is the plan. Also the rook is here. Okay, by pushing the pawn also, there we can play some counterplay, have some counterplay. Okay, you see major pieces are on the king side. Okay, so our target should be like that. Okay, let's attack the castle side. Knight to a5. Okay, offering to exchange the bishops. Okay, we here we should exchange the bishops, right? Because this is a very strong bishop, very strong bishop, and our is also a strong bishop. But okay, let's both neutralize. We are having more number of attackers on the king side. Okay, we are having more number of attackers on the castle side, so we should create some counterplay with them. Okay, knight fg5. Okay, thus we have played the pawn here on h4. Okay, you see this and this both are protecting. Okay, then f6. Okay, let's exchange. E into f6, bishop into x6, queen h5, queen h5. Okay, here you are threatening the mate. Okay, here you are threatening the mate. Queen h5 is a very good move. Okay, h6, queen to g6. It's a brilliant move. Okay, it's a brilliant move. You are sacrificing the knight for the sake of you will have a very strong counterplay and the mate. Okay, your all pieces are developed. Now you can directly put a mate. This is a brilliant sacrifice. Now a below rated player cannot identify how this mate pattern will be coming, but okay, you just check it out. Okay, This is for the sake of knowledge I am showing you. The real game didn't went like this. I'll come back to that. Okay. I hope you are getting some knowledge. If you are getting, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. My channel is very new. If you guys support it, then only my channel will grow, and I'll try to develop my deliver my knowledge like this way. Okay. H into g6, into g5, h into g5, bishop into g5 check, knight into g5, knight into g5, queen into g5, knight to d8. Okay, it is very long journey for knight. Okay, it is a very long journey for knight to come and protect like this. A very long journey. Queen to g6, d6. Okay, d6. You have to bring your queen also. Okay, you have to bring your queen also. h7, rook to h7, rook to f7, rook d1, king f8. Okay, it is planning to run away like this. Okay, so we have to stop it. Rook to e1. Okay, this is a completely winning for white, right? It's completely winning for white. Now you have many counterplay. If the knight moves, okay, you will give a check and win the queen. Okay, also you are threatening here. Okay, you are threatening the major pieces. You can bring your bishop into play so that the king cannot run away like this. Okay, there are a lot of possibilities, and it is a completely win for the white. Okay, so here was the situation. Okay, rather than playing knight to c6, what if the castled happens, black has castled, and the game continues. Okay, I have shown you for the sake of knowledge. In the real game, it has played knight to c6, then white played knight to c3, knight to e6. Okay, attacking the bishop, bishop to g3, castle. Okay, white is planning to castle on the queen side. Okay, that's why he is waiting, because he has a lot of counterplay. You see, all the pieces are developed and he has a lot of counterplay. That's why queen to e2. Now you see, if he pushes the pawn on d6, then white will do a long castle, and the pawn will be pinned because it cannot move, or else the queen will be gone. So, f4 is played. Okay, f4 is played. Here no need to exchange. Okay, no need to do impassion and exchange the pawns. No need. Okay, you are having a strong pawn. Okay, keep it. Long castle is done. Okay, long castle is done, threatening to capture the knight. Okay, threatening to capture the knight with check. The pawn cannot capture, or else it will black will lose the queen. So black plays queen to e8, knight d5. Okay, now you see here, white is threatening to play knight into c7. Okay, the black knight cannot capture because it is already pinned against the king. Okay, it's an absolute pin. I hope you know the term absolute pin, relative pin. Okay, it's an absolute pin. It cannot capture. So in order to mitigate the threat of knight into c7, black has played king to h8. Okay, king to h8. Now if the knight capture on c7, black can play knight into c7, because now the knight is not pinned. Game continues. Knight to f4, a6. Okay, black is trying. Okay, let's push the pawn on the queen side. Okay, and attack the castle king, but it's too late. Okay, it's too late. Now you cannot do anything because all the attackers are on the king side, castle side. Also the castling is weak. Okay, this pawn, the castling is weak. h4 is played. Okay, h4, the same plan. Okay, the knight will jump here. Okay, also there might be some other counter plays. Okay, if this pawn pushes, then there are a lot of counter play. Okay, knight to a5. Okay, now here just a common idea. Okay, that now the knight has gone on a5. Now if you play the bishop here, okay, bishop on b3, definitely the knight will capture your bishop. Okay, that's why the knight has came. Okay, this knight is just a sleeper cell. I hope you know the term sleeper cell. It has came here in order to, he will also die by capturing with one of the piece. That's, he is acting like a sleeper cell. Even if you put your bishop here, okay, and if the pawn pushes here, the bishop will be a very weak square, very passive bishop. Okay, also it is blockading the rook, open diagonal rook, semi open diagonal, it will also blockade the open file for the rook. That's why it's better to capture the knight. Okay, bishop into knight. Yes, you might think, okay, the pawn will capture and give support. Yeah, that's correct. Also you are getting the open file for the rook. Okay, for that sake, okay, you can do that. Now knight has jumped on g5, bishop to c5. Now you see rook to d8. Okay, it's a brilliant move. It's a brilliant move. Okay, it's a brilliant move. You might think, okay, if the queen captures, okay, knight cannot jump and give check and capture the queen. Then why it's a brilliant move, right? Why it's a brilliant move? You might think that why such move is a brilliant? How can this move be a brilliant? Because correct now. You have played this move in order to force the queen to leave this square on h5. Okay, in order to leave this square on h5, so that my queen can jump on h5. Okay, so that my queen can jump on h5. Okay, this is the main motto. Okay, that's why it's a brilliant move. Okay, I have done some diagonals. Okay, this is the brilliant move. Now you see how the game continues. Okay, like a normal rated player will not have such idea. I am damn sure. Even me as a player also not get such idea. So you have to watch more number of games. Okay, watch more number of games so that you can have that idea. Now you see how the game continues. Queen into d8, queen h5, h6, h6. Okay, now if you run with the knight back, then what is the purpose? What is the use? Okay, then it's a completely loss for the white. So you have to go and create the counterplay. Okay, now the knight pawn has to capture, or else the mate threat is there. Okay, and if the pawn captures, my pawn will capture and give a check. Okay, thus it happens in the real game itself. H into g5, h into g5 check, king to g8. Okay, then queen to h5. Okay, same threatening. After pushing g5 to g6, then you will give a mate here. Okay, that's the plan. Even if the pawn pushes, then I will give a mate on the h7. Okay, so the game continues. Knight to c4. You see that this knight has already gone to a passive square. Okay, this is a passive knight. Now it is coming where I don't know. Okay, where it is coming I don't know. You don't have any counterplay itself. If the queen rook comes also, it will give a mate. Okay, g6. Okay, the same plan, g6, queen d2 check. Okay, black is trying its level best. King b1. Now whatever black plays, it's a force mate. Okay, whatever black plays, it's a force mate. If you have some any other variation, do write in the comment box. I will glad to clarify it. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video.